Hey, Dr. Steff. Today I'm going to be talking to you about God of God of War 4 and then God of War Ragnarok, how to use Norse mythology and Norse language and incorporate it in the game to make it easier for the players. So some historical, not I guess some lore. So the God of War games, the ones I'm mentioning, they take place in, I think it's like modern day Scandinavia, and the story follows Kratos, and he's like this. He's a god of war, Greek god of war. But we know Ares is god of war, but it's like a whole thing about how he became god of war and everything. That's like a whole nother story. And his son Atreus, and the first game follows them going on a journey to what is it called? It's the fuck. Oh, Jotunheim to spread their mother's ashes. So they're going to like the top of the world to spread Kratos' wife and Atreus' mother's ashes. And the second game is a sequel of that, and they're a little older now, a little bit more matured, and they're, just finding their way through Ragnarok. Okay. So, in Norse mythology, there's 7 realms. I'm going to try my best to name all of them. So, the realm we live on is called Earth. It's called Midgard. There's Jotunheim, Elfheim, Helheim. There's, I can't believe I'm forgetting it. Asgard. That's the home of the gods. And there's 2 more. There's one for like the dwarves and like the high elves and stuff. And throughout the game, there's really like clues and stuff to like understanding Norse mythology. For example, there's like in the God of War 4 game, you open up these lore closets. It's like these big closets, and they show like Norse lore. And so I'm gonna play that clip and show you. And in the God of War 4 game, is kind of like a, not God of War, I'm sorry, God of War Ragnarok. It's like a continuation of that. And there's like the old languages. The main language is spoken is English, excuse me, but the elves speak a different language. There's like the light elves and the dark elves. They speak like their own language. I'm going to show a clip of that. And then the giants, they speak their own language, even though like giants aren't like, we don't really see like giants in these games. But they have their own language, which is like it's called Jotun or something like that. And but the only giant we really do see is the world serpent. What is his name? Oh, we're just gonna call him the world serpent. I cannot believe I'm forgetting his name. But he speaks like the ancient Jotun language, and like at the beginning of God of War, we don't understand him. So it's like, okay, what are we doing? But then Atreus, we learn he's actually part giant because his mom was like a giant princess. So he begins to like study the ancient Jotun language and like understand it. And as far as other languages, it's really just like the high elves and the dark elves speak their own language, and like we can't understand what they're saying. And then there's like the Jotun language, and like only a few characters in the game know that language. And one thing that I was impressed with, like as a gamer, like I love playing like mythology stuff. Like I'm a Percy Jackson kid, so I eat that shit up. And so like I think of Santa Monica Studios, they did a really good job of like making Norse mythology lore accurate. Like Thor isn't like Chris Hemsworth. He's like this big, like kind of fat redhead, but he's like a huge dude. But that's how he actually looks like in the mythology, in the canon. And it really like immerses like the viewers and stuff. Like it's hard explaining it without like you seeing it. So I'm just gonna submit this video and then also show you a few clips of like me playing and stuff so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you the clip of like oh my god, I cannot believe I forgot the snake's name. It's the world serpent, dude. I cannot believe I forgot it. But we're gonna show him speaking. We're gonna show the high elf speaking, and then we're gonna show like the lore closet and stuff. So yeah.
That's not weird at all.
Okay, so in that clip of Atreus using the Jotun language to call Jormungandr, that's the world serpent's name, Jormungandr. It's very like the language itself is very spaced out and it's like long, like it's just dragged out syllables. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like your like it's very, I don't know. But yeah, so Atreus, he, because he is like part giant, he's able to like decipher this language and learn how to speak it. Okay, so and then in that video, Jormungandr is responding, but like there's no, notice how like the developers didn't put any subtitles because he's speaking like pure. I'm gonna just call it like Jotunese. Like he's speaking pure Jotunese, and like his voice is like very deep because he's just this giant serpent. Like in Norse mythology, the world snake is a serpent that wraps around the world and comes up in Ragnarok to fight Thor. But then Thor, they fight to the death, and Thor knocks him back in time. So it starts all over again. It's like a cycle. But yeah, so he's speaking like a language only Atreus and then this other character Balder can really understand, and other mythical giants can understand.
Just like inside your shrine. If I do this,
Bring it only bind you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Because it is written. Good choice, lad.
they have a gift for us. A way to call them anytime we need them.
Okay, and then in that clip, I just included it just so because I thought it was like one of my favorite moments of the game. But then the developers really like make learning Norse mythology fun, and then like just including the language into it, you know. So like in that clip, Skull and Hati, they're like the two wolves that chase the sun and the moon. And when Atreus shoots the arrow for, I think it's Hati, to like chase the sun, that signifies like kind of the start of Ragnarok. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool because like you really start to gain an understanding of Norse mythology and the language and the lore, and I just think it's really cool. Okay. And that's it for my project. I didn't really mean to make this like 10 minutes. I was gonna make like a YouTube video and have like some really cool editing, but I suck at like technology and stuff, and I cannot edit for the life of me. So I edited on iMovie, and like this is like kind of like the best I can do. So yeah. But closing thoughts, I really thought like God of War Ragnarok is one of my favorite games. So I'm pretty biased, but like just learning like different cultures and how they speak, and like it really starts like language really starts with like mythology, and it's very interesting just to see how the language is used. So yeah.